We have a few guests in our virtual studio tonight as we get an insight as to how the lockdown is going for some of the country's best swimmers. Tonight I'm going to be interviewing 3 different swimmers, one of which is David Landman, a swimmer for City of Glasgow swim team. He was also in the district regional programme at a very young age. Another swimmer that I'm going to be interviewing tonight is Katie Shanahan, a GB swimmer who dreams to get to the Commonwealth Games in 2022. And our final swimmer of the night is Kathleen Dawson, a gold medalist at the European Championships in 2016.
Come on, David! Come on, David!
What is your proudest moment in your swimming career?
I'd say definitely making snags, and that was definitely a good moment, just the qualifying times for snags. But a specific moment would be, actually, it was, I think, last West District before lockdown. I just went sub 103 long course, which was good because I was definitely peaking for the snags that would have been.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
My coach is, he's helped a lot. My friends, obviously. I look up to Duncan Scott.
What exercise do you find most challenging?
For some, I think it's leg kicks, like raised leg kicks. We're always asked to do them really high and wide and put our hands beside. I just can't do that for some reason.
Is that like flutter kicks, the one where you go like that?
Got the name of them. That's great.
Other than swimming, is there any other sport that you like or you compete in?
I don't compete in any other sports, but I'd say I just generally like sports. I'm not horrible or amazing at any sports, but I can play them. Yeah, for some reason my PE teacher said I was really good at hockey. Don't know why. Dribbling in PE. Like the twist thing. I don't know what it's called to do that. So I guess he thinks I'm good at hockey because I can twist a hockey stick.
How did you find the DRP session?
It's definitely a good stepping stone between West Districts and snags.
What is your favourite stroke or the stroke that you are the best in, and what distance do you swim it in?
Front crawl, maybe 100 or 50.
Is the biggest thing that you miss about swimming and being in the pool?
General environment and training, the people.
For our next guest tonight, I'm going to be introducing a 16-year-old GB swimmer. And if you haven't guessed it already, it's Katie Shanahan. She was SportsAid's Athlete of the Month in 2019, not to mention a European Youth Olympic Festival swimmer.
Can't see her catching Katie as we come towards the final 5 metres. There is about 2-3 metres between them still, so it's gold goes to Shanahan.
Doing during lockdown to keep yourself fit?
So I'm really fortunate and in quite a lucky position. I am still able to train in tow cross, so yeah, I'm really lucky.
What's your biggest inspiration?
I would definitely think of Hosu. She's just amazing. Core workouts, abs and stuff. I just love doing that. So, and everything else, like squat jumps and all that, they're so hard.
What are your goals and dreams for swimming in the future?
The main dream, the main goal is to make the Olympics. I think everybody's goal and dream is to make the Olympics at some point in their lives. But I definitely would love to make the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 2022.
What is your dream swimming location?
I'm thinking maybe Australia, somewhere like that. I am quite lucky that I have been able to go to loads of different places around the world. I've been to Japan, Russia, Azerbaijan, Spain, Geneva. Like, I've been to all these places. I am really lucky to have been to these places, especially at such a young age. A whole different world in Japan. Honestly, it was just so amazing experience.
What is your go-to food to eat during a competition?
Now, this is a weird one. I've always eaten this before a race. It's just always something that I've eaten. Jaffa cakes. I usually, like, it's really weird. I always have 2 Jaffa cakes before every single race. Whenever I'm eating them, everyone's like, what? Like, why is she eating Jaffa cakes? But yeah, no, definitely Jaffa cakes. I love Jaffa cakes.
For our final guest tonight, we have Kathleen Dawson. She was born on the 3rd of October 1997. So, she is a Scottish backcrawl swimmer, and she's won a bronze medal in the individual 100 metres and a gold in the 4x100 metres medley relay events at the 2016 European Championships. I think you're in for a treat.
Kathleen Dawson, bring it in, and she's got to challenge that record. 58-38-38-1. A new Scottish record, senior record, to Kathleen.
What have you been doing during lockdown to keep yourself fit?
In order to keep fit during the lockdown, I would cycle on the turbo trainer for about 2 hours every day. I would just put a film on or a TV show on whilst I was doing that. Besides that, I would do these workouts of the day that Scottish Swimming was kind enough to put on. They were taken by my gym coach, and they were pretty intense. I don't know if any of you ever did any of them, but they were basically just circuits that you could do in your living room. When lockdown allowed it, I would also go and climb hills if I could. I went up Ben Ann, went up the Demayet, which is just outside the University of Stirling here, and I managed to climb a Munro as well.
What is your proudest moment in your swimming career?
I think my proudest moment so far in my swimming career has to be my 100 backstroke swim that I did in 2016 at the European Championships in London. It was the first time I'd ever broken the minute. I went 59.68, and it was the first time any Scottish woman had ever been below the minute as well.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration would have to be my mum. A couple of years ago, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she went through all of the chemotherapy and the radiation treatment for that, and she came out on the other side stronger than ever, and she just inspires me to be the best in everything that I can be.
When you were younger, how did you find balancing school and studying for exams with swimming?
In balancing swimming and exams, I think it's important that you plan your time and you create a schedule that you're able to stick to. I can't really speak from experience because I didn't do very well in any exams at my school, but my school were also very accommodating for me in that they set aside time for me in other subjects that I could go and study for my exams. I think that where I was lacking was that I did not stick to a schedule, which I 100% should have done, and that is what I'm recommending for you guys to do.
What is your favourite food to eat before a competition?
My favourite food at a competition, I don't think it's very healthy, unfortunately, but it's something very carb based, which is something I think you need during competition. Like, you should have done all the healthy work leading up into competition, and now it's just about making sure you have the energy to compete. And I think I'd have to say that my favourite dish is spaghetti carbonara.
What are your top 3 tips for anyone who wants to become a competitive swimmer?
My top 3 tips for anyone wanting to go to a competitive level at swimming, I think number 1 would have to be apply yourself and make sure you're giving everything your all. Number 2, recover well, make sure you're eating and you're sleeping well. They make a bigger impact on swimming than you'd think. Number 3, have to be enjoy yourself. There's no point in doing something that you're not enjoying.
What is your favourite part of swimming and why?
My favourite part about swimming definitely has to be competing. It always has been since I was a wee girl, but especially now as an elite athlete on the world class stage, it's just a different atmosphere. Like at these big competitions, I don't think you can really recreate it anywhere else, and especially being able to travel to all these different places around the world. I think one of my favourite places I've ever been able to race at is the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games in Australia. That it's just, I feel so privileged with my swimming to be able to go to all of these different places.
How many times did you have to train on the lead up to the 2016 London European Championships?
My training leading into my swim at Europeans in 2016, if I remember rightly, I think I trained around about 10 times a week. That's 10 2-hour sessions in the pool every week and 3 gym sessions. Two of those I think were lifting sessions, and then 1 was a kind of core circuit session.
Did you have any major setbacks in swimming? If so, how did you overcome them?
I would say that I've had one major setback in my career. Back in 2018, in October of 2018, I ruptured my ACL, which for those of you that don't know, is a ligament that stabilizes your knee, and basically without it your knee just gives way when you're walking. You can't run or jump, so obviously that was it was going to have a big impact on my swimming if I didn't get it fixed, so I had an operation on it. After that, it took a team of people to rehab me. I went for a pretty intense rehab, and it's basically the belief that I still wanted to swim and I still wanted to go to an Olympics. I wanted to win an Olympic medal that got me back to where I am today, and hopefully in a few weeks' time I will be in London competing to try and qualify to go to the Olympics. So it really does make a difference having that belief in your head, and having this great support team around me helped me come back from such a devastating time in my life.
Other than swimming, did you have any other sports? If so, then why did you choose swimming?
At high school, I didn't really have any other interests in, any other sports besides swimming. I did compete in some athletic events and some cross-country events, but none of them just really sparked joy in me like swimming does. I really enjoyed the training that I was doing at Warriors of Warrington, and I really enjoyed all the people I was with there. And I really liked winning. The competition and the winning definitely contributed to my love for the sport. So.
Whilst the show has been commencing tonight, we have received a lovely tweet about all the swimmers in Kingston from Laura Pilkington. I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the swimmers who have participated in my video tonight. It has been fantastic, and they've all done it off their own behalf. I just can't thank you enough. Your responses were fantastic, and Kingston will be very, very happy to receive them. And finally, for tonight, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all the Kingston kids. You've been doing great during the lockdown, and I just wish we'd get back to the pool soon. I believe we have come to an end of the show tonight. It is currently 6:30, and from all of us here at the BBC, we would like to wish you a very nice evening.